I'm not mad. Somehow I'm not mad. Just incredibly, unbelievably disappointed. And I know that's something that people say when they are mad, but somehow I'm not mad after that one. I'm just beyond disappointed in some of the stuff that I thought was supposed to be different this year was not different today at all. And you have the result that you do. So Titans win in overtime, 33-30. Seahawks give up a two touchdown, 15-point second half lead. I believe they held a two touchdown lead as late as like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They get the ball in overtime, go backwards and punt, and basically give the Titans the win at that point. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what I truly expected, but first and foremost, the defense. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. I I saw the investment. I saw the amount of time we put in grooming these players, the amount of time we've let Ken Norton Jr. run this defense, the amount of time, I mean, over a decade, forget about it, over a decade of Pete Carroll getting to run this defense through multiple iterations. And I saw what we were doing in the second half of the season last year, and I thought, okay, we had to rebuild. It wasn't fun for a couple years. It looked like the party was over, but we're headed in the right direction now. No, no, not today. Playing a backup Tennessee Titans offensive line, we barely got pressure on Tannehill. Soft zones all day, and couldn't even stop the run. And offensively, I mean, my God, straight out of the Schottenheimer era. Straight out of the Schottenheimer era today. Carbon copy outside of one drive. That would be the short and dirty summary for me, but we got to go a little deeper into this one, of course. So I am shocked by this defense pass rush. Just nothing, absolutely nothing from them outside of like two or three plays. The forced fumble by Alton Robinson, the play after Roger Saffold leaves the game, probably a little bit of a connection there. The pressure from Kerry Hyder on the fourth down that should have won the game if the offense had any competency whatsoever. Um, yeah, yeah. Other than that, very little pressure, very little things happening in the backfield. At the end of the game, Tannehill hits the same check down over the middle to his running back about 10 times in a row. 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards, and we're happy we're not giving up the big play. Meanwhile, you're letting the clock run down. If you give up the big play, at least you leave your offense a few minutes to go try to score a game winner. Like, what do you think you're doing? Are you happy that you're only giving up touchdowns 5 yards at a time? You like the lack of situational awareness on part of mostly the coaches. I'm mostly talking about Norton and Carroll here. Like, give up the long touchdown. Give up a 30-yard touchdown and get the ball back with 2 minutes left. Don't let them check it down all the way and get a touchdown with 30 seconds left when you don't really have a chance to answer back and you've got to play for overtime. It's this kind of stuff that is so basic to people like me because I play Madden. That's all it is. I play Madden. So I know in that situation you actually want to leave enough time, especially when you've seen all this evidence the whole game that you can't stop them. Um, Julio and AJ Brown running open all game long, which wasn't unexpected. I will grant you that. But I gotta say, if Julio and AJ Brown could catch, they dropped like 6 combined passes today. It's a lot uglier. It's a lot uglier. AJ Brown could not catch a thing today. I think they had as a team 8 drops or something like that. It was bad. And the fact that they still put up all those points, that tells you how bad it could have been. And the run defense, which started out the game great, wilted as the game went on. Really struggled to stop Henry. The 60-yard play, Jamal and Trey Flowers just screwing up. Yeah, but as much as I want to sit here and kill this defense for 15, 20 minutes, and I will kill them because they absolutely sucked today and really, really disappointed me with how they played. I can only go so far with it. Yeah, Ken Norton needs to get fired. Pete Carroll probably needs to go too because this is his team. He's had every opportunity to build his defense, and it's still doing this kind of stuff. But as much as I want to do it, I can only go so far. And the problem is the offense, which was the spitting image of the Schottenheimer offense today. Oh my God. I knew we were using a lot of the Schottenheimer stuff and would continue to do so for a lot of the season. But that game plan and that game flow could have come out of 2018 or 2019 so easily. Or actually, let's go all the way with it, the second half of 2020. We took the defense from the start of 2020 and the offense from the end of 2020 and mushed it all together in one game. Now, I know the offense scored 30 points, but you got to remember 7 of those points were given to them by the defense because of the short field. So really, you're talking 23 points, so 3 touchdowns and 1 field goal. And with one exception, all of our points came off of big plays. We had the long 50-yarder to Lockett to set up the field goal, had the long touchdown to Lockett, and then we had the long touchdown to Swain, which was a completely busted coverage. The only offensive drive where I saw the Waldron stuff that I liked and that I wanted to see more of after last week was the 2-minute drive, which was beautiful. That was incredible. And when I saw that drive, I thought, okay, we're good. I have to admit it. I was like, okay, this offense has found its rhythm. We're not going to have a problem the rest of the way. All we have to do is not completely shatter the dam on defense, and we're going to win this game. No problem. But we didn't hold on to the ball nearly long enough. I think we had about 20 minutes of time of possession in this game. And we got so close, but we never went ahead by enough to force the Titans to stop giving the ball to Derrick Henry. And they fed him the ball. He touched the ball 41 times and was able to affect that game all the way to the end. We almost got that big lead that would have forced him out of the game, but couldn't quite get there. And I'm looking at all the 3 and outs in the second half. We had one good drive in the second half plus overtime, and it was a completely busted coverage that gave us that one good drive, which I'm sorry. I mean, I'll take it. I like big plays. I love the fact that Wilson still gets to air it out in this new offense, but that's not indicative of the things that this offense needs to be able to do. The Titans adjusted in that second half, and we had one good play on offense pretty much the whole freaking half plus OT. Oh boy. So, kind of sort of feels like we're back to square one here. You play at home, and you're playing against a toothless defense. And don't you dare try to tell me that Titans defense improved this offseason. Like, they have Bud Dupree, they added this guy or that guy. That is a weak defense. You will only play 1 or 2 defenses the whole rest of the season as bad or worse than that Titans D. And they were getting pressure almost the whole game. The only time when I didn't see them getting pressure was in the second quarter for about 10 minutes there. They got pressure throughout the first quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, overtime. That is a toothless pass rush, and you were letting them get pressure. What the hell? I saw Kyle Fuller getting destroyed on some of those plays. So to whoever it is in the Seahawks organization, and don't get me wrong, I know who it is, who decided that guy was good enough to start, much less good enough to be on an NFL team, well, now you earning your money because you better fix him fast or you better find somebody else. Because we, as fans, all knew that he wasn't any good. But you thought he was good. He's not. I want to sit here and kill this defense, and don't get me wrong, I'm willing to go to a certain level with that because it was pathetic today, And we didn't really do much of anything well defensively. We didn't even get pressure against a backup left tackle and a backup left guard. But they had to go back out onto the field after 3 and outs so many times in this game. The offense gave them no support whatsoever. I mean, the defense even came up with a miracle stop in overtime, just on the backs of really bad Titans receivers' drops, granted, but they got the ball back to the offense, and all we did was go backwards. So we have taken the defense from the first half of 2020, merged it with the offense from the the defense from the first half of 2020 with the offense from the second half of 2020. And that's how you lose in overtime in the home opener in a game where you were up by 15 points going into the second half. You make one play on offense to get a first down, you probably win that game. You make one play on defense to take the ball away, you probably win that game. Neither happened. Very, very disappointed in this offense and the way they played. We couldn't run the ball even though they didn't have Jayon Brown. Struggled to pass the ball outside of broken coverages even though they didn't have Caleb Farley. Bud Dupree had a very minimal impact on this game, and they still got pressure on Wilson all game long. I don't know what the final pressure metrics are going to look like, but they're not going to be good. And past all that, okay, because I get it. Waldron's new. Waldron is going to have to take his lumps and have some bad games. Not this game, not against the Tennessee Titans defense, which has very little talent and should not be shutting you down for 50 minutes out of a 65-minute approximately football game. And as much as I want to kill the defense too, don't get me wrong, all this stuff is unacceptable. That kind of stuff, okay, whatever. Offense, new coordinator, new scheme. Stuff happens. Defense, they were playing good in that first half, honestly. They were forcing the Titans to kick field goals, held a good offense to 9 points, and it didn't really turn into a disaster until the offense just completely stopped helping them out. So, okay. This week, I had better hear that Pete Carroll goes into tyrant mode in practice, because this team's discipline, and I wanted to save this for last, is the thing that infuriated me the most in this game. More than the sucky offense, more than the sucky defense. DK Metcalf needs to chill out. Somebody needs to tell him to either chill out or you can go sit down for the rest of the season. I understand that he's a little frustrated. He didn't have a big game today. He's leaving some plays out there on the field. Wilson missed him on what could have been a big play in overtime. But he's got to cool down. He had like 3 penalties today. No personal fouls or taunting or anything like that, but he's got to chill out. But this whole team, Jamal Adams with the blow to the head in overtime that almost gave the game away. It somehow didn't. Could have been very easily. A DJ Reed getting up and celebrating after not really doing anything to force Julio Jones to miss a pass because it was overthrown. Like, you didn't do anything, DJ Reed. Don't draw a stupid penalty. Damian Lewis. If we go for it on 4th and inches there and we pick it up, which we probably do with a QB sneak like we did last week against the Colts, if we get that play, we might go and win this game. Who knows? We'll never know now because you're leaning forward with 20 seconds left on the play clock. You know we're going to let the play clock run all the way down. What are you doing? Why are you even considering moving with that much time left on the play clock? You know we're not going to snap it until there's like 2 seconds left. I think we had double-digit penalties in this game, or pretty close. Really, really pathetic, and these guys should know the rules. We picked up a weak taunting call last week on Metcalf, so at that point, every player on this team should go, okay, they're going to be a pain in the ass about it the rest of the year. We cannot mess around. I don't understand. I don't understand that mentality of we're just going to let our emotions completely control us during the game, and if we get a penalty, whatever. That's all I see. Really bad, really pathetic, really disappointing. Like I said, I can't even get that mad. I'm just really disappointed because I said the defense needed to be good immediately, and as much as I understand the offense did not support them at all in this game, it was still really bad. And the situational stuff, the dumb penalties, I think we had like 3 personal fouls in this game on the defense. Just letting him check us down to death at the end of the game when you honestly may as well at that point just let up a long touchdown so you can try to get the ball back to the offense with time. Offense looked like the spitting image of the Schottenheimer offense. Just bad. All right, guys. I'm going to stream during the second half of the game, and we can all yell and scream about this and say what needs to be said. But that was pathetic. And right now we are at the bottom of the division, and if you see what those teams are doing, I know they had close calls today. I know they played competitive games today, but you can't afford to do this in this division. So, Pete, you better go into Tom Coughlin mode this week at practice and make sure the lack of discipline never comes up again this year, or else you're not doing your job. We can get mad at the players for committing the penalties, but really, it's about coaching. The coaches are clearly not disciplining their players well enough. So I want to see boot camp mode this week. Period. All right. See you guys later.